A few months back, a friend of mine was expressing his concern to me over this notion that certain people don't like him. So he was saying something like, I don't think this person likes me, I don't think that person likes me, and so on. And I didn't say anything at the time, but what I was thinking is that although it might seem like expressing that concern is how you get people to like you, the reality couldn't be further from that. Because not only is that not correct, but you shouldn't really be asking that question to begin with. So in this video, I want to explain what some of the consequences are that are attached to basically having that mindset, and then furthermore, how you really should be responding to those thoughts instead. So as self-conscious as you might be about yourself, always worrying about what other people think, how you look, or if you said or did the right thing, the reality is no one else cares nearly as much about you as you do about yourself. They're not holding you under the same microscope that you're holding yourself under, so to speak. And it's not because they don't like you, it's quite simply because they don't have the time or capacity to do that. And if you need proof of that, just turn the tables for a second and ask yourself how you go about your daily life. Do you go around constantly reminding yourself how much you hate one particular person and saying, oh my gosh, I hate them, I hate this person so much, and I just wish they would go away, making them basically the center of your universe, which kind of ironically suggests you might even like them a little bit? Or are you either, number one, thinking about other things, or like we said a second ago, thinking more about yourself than anything else? That's usually how other people feel. So it follows naturally then that if you do ask that question of whether someone likes you or not, whereas it hadn't really even been a question to begin with, that's where somebody has to stop and think about it. And that's usually not going to end well for you. Because you have to remember, people are by nature pessimistic. So if they have to stop and think about it and ask that question, they're likely going to come up with answers that are negative. They're going to be like, I never really thought about that, but let me try to think of why I might not like this person. And so by asking that question, you've basically turned it into a self-fulfilling prophecy where only by worrying about it do you make it true that someone doesn't like you. So you're better off just not asking in the first place. Additionally, the more you care about being liked, the more you establish yourself as the approval seeker rather than the approval determiner. In other words, because you've made it so clear that you care so much about whether someone else likes you, they don't have to care nearly as much about how much you like them. So you lose respect in that sense. They're going to see it as, I call the shots and he just has to go along with what I say. And you might even run into people who string you along, who treat you nice one day and then mean the next, just because they know it throws you off and it bothers you and it gets them your attention. But also, you become somebody that's just no fun to hang out with. Because while everybody else is out enjoying themselves, enjoying the moment, and just having fun and having a good time, you're likely sitting off in the corner by yourself with a sad look on your face, expecting everybody to constantly reassure you and remind you that they like you. Which again just takes the fun out of everything. And even if they do give you that reassurance, it's not going to be very sincere. They're instead just doing it because they don't want you to get angry and make things awkward. So you kind of emotionally blackmail them in that sense, and they're just going to end up resenting you for it later. So given all this, instead of worrying so much about being liked, just be a likable person and don't worry about the rest. So be polite and friendly towards everybody that you encounter, regardless of how they appear or what value you think they have to offer you in return. Whether it's the cashier, the guy behind the desk, the guy you're working out next to, it doesn't matter. Have a positive attitude about everything. So if ever anybody asks you out to do something, go into it with that instead of having a negative attitude and complaining about stuff all the time. Be laid back and have a sense of humor and learn to take a joke, even if it's at your expense, instead of having such a serious, uptight attitude and being so easily offended all the time. And then if after all that you still start to sense that somebody might not like you, then instead of being insecure and self-conscious about it, just let it go and accept it and say, hey, if you don't want to be friends, then that's your problem and your loss and not mine. I know I'm a likable person and I've got all the friends that I need. And if you need me, you know where to find me. And that's really, at the end of the day, the type of person that people want to hang out with. Because then they don't have to worry so much about you getting angry or upset. So I hope that helps change your mind about things. Hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.